Since 2020, I've worked with dozens of e-commerce brands doing 8 figures and 9 figures in revenue. And the big thing that separates those brands from the brands that stay stuck at 7 figures is the amount of winning ad creatives they can produce on Meta in a given month. The reality for most e-commerce brands is that they don't have a consistent process of producing winning ads that they can scale on Facebook. And in this video, I'm going to give you a framework, a step-by-step winning ad structure that you can take and apply to your own business to create ads that convert cold traffic into new customers. And I'm also going to be sharing 2 examples with you in this video that illustrates this framework in practice. So let's get right into the video. If you don't know who I am, my name is Jordan Hayes. I run a marketing agency. I've been doing that since 2020. We've helped multiple brands scale to 8 figures and 9 figures over the years. We do done-for-you marketing services for e-commerce brands who are at that 7-figure stage, 8-figure stage, and want to get to that multi-8-figure stage. If you're tired of constantly facing bottlenecks with scaling and constantly hitting ceilings, and you just want a team to come in and guide you through this and really take over this for you, then this is exactly what we do. The first link in the video description is a link to my website. You can go ahead, book a call directly with me, and we'll chat about your business and see if we can actually help you grow. And so that you can trust the information I'm going to be sharing with you today, just a quick refresh here on the Shopify dashboard for one of our clients. You can see last year it's over $8.8 million in revenue. So here is what we're going to be going through today. Problem aware and solution aware, core structure number 1. Now what this means is that this core structure, this framework that I'm going to show you is for problem aware and solution aware audiences. So there's 5 stages of market awareness, and basically you have those that are completely unaware, so they're not even aware that they have a problem, to those that are completely aware, right? And those that are completely aware are the most primed to buy from you. And you have to take customers through a journey. And what most brands do is they start with the most aware audiences, then they go to those that are product aware, so they're aware of your products, and then they start going back to those that are solution aware and then problem aware, right? Now, the reason why this is interesting, problem aware and solution aware, is because these audiences are massive in size. They're much bigger than the more aware audiences, and what that means, in order to continue scaling your brand, you need to tap into these audiences. So this is why I've chosen these 2 stages of market awareness to share this framework with you today. You can see here that we've broken down this into multiple different elements. Now, a framework, and the reason why we use frameworks in my agency is because we used to be the guys that mashed ads together randomly, tested them, and if they worked, great, amazing, we kind of got lucky. And if they didn't work, well, okay, discard it, move on to the next one. That wastes a lot of time, it wastes a lot of energy, it wastes a lot of resources in terms of money as well. And it also just doesn't make the process of scaling on Facebook consistent. And really, that is what you need to be doing. You need to be scaling your ad spend consistently month over month in order to continue growing, right? So a framework is built up of multiple individual elements. And you can think of this as a recipe where you have multiple different ingredients and you can put them together in different ways. But this core structure right here is proven to work. And as I mentioned, I'm going to show you 2 examples of this in practice after we go through it. So let's dive in. Every ad starts with a hook, okay? So this one's no different. And the main thing I want to talk to you about the hook is, first of all, you want to stop the scroll, okay? Obvious. But what you also want to do is you want to bake retention and engagement into the hook. And what I mean by this is that you open a curiosity loop and you also build some tension. So rather than just doing something that's going to stop the scroll, right, which could be anything, random that doesn't even relate to your product and your solution. Yes, you'll stop the scroll, but you're going to get a lot of drop off after that because people are going to realize that, okay, you got my attention, but I'm not interested. So what you want to do is you want to get attention, but also in a way that builds curiosity related to your product and solution, right? So meet the customer where they're at in terms of what they're thinking in their mind, the problem that they're facing. And that is how you create hooks that are going to deliver you winning ads, okay? And we're going to see some examples of that in just a moment. Then you want to get right into the problem. Now, when you're talking to an audience who are problem aware and solution aware, they already know about the problem that they're facing, right? And they've likely tried other solutions. And what you want to do is, again, you want to meet the customer where they're at, introduce the problem they're facing using their language. And you always want to talk in first person because preaching to someone else doesn't work, right? But if someone can, if you can tell someone a story about your experience, then they're going to be able to see themselves within that, right? And that's when they start to connect the dots and they're more likely to listen to what you have to offer, right? So you introduce the problem. Then what you do is you agitate the problem. And what this means is you link the problem to the real issue that the customer faces. And you link it to their core desire. So if someone is suffering from acne, the problem is that they suffer from acne, right? And doesn't look good, etc. But the real problem is that they don't have confidence. They feel like they can't attract a partner. They feel like they're failing in life and they can't get access to opportunities because of that. You want to link it to the real outcome that humans really value. And it all comes back to the core desires. So you can look up the Life Force 8 core desires It's basically 8 core desires we have hardwired into our brains as humans. So if you use one of those or multiple of those, then you're going to hit the mark with that core desire, the outcome that the customer wants, okay? And you can also use failed solutions, right? I have and or here because you can use them as well, or you can use problem agitation or failed solution. But basically, you use failed solutions to build more relatability and trust. And what a failed solution is it's something that the customer has tried that hasn't worked. And this could be a competitor, it could be a different type of product. For example, if you're selling a hair loss product, you might have the creator say, well, I didn't want to do a hair transplant because it cost a lot of money and it was very risky. I didn't want to get prescription medication from my doctor. I tried minoxidil, it didn't work. So you're listing the solutions, the other quote-unquote solutions that your customer has tried. And the key here is to list the ones that you know your customer has tried, which will come from your research, right? So once you research what those are, you're going to be able to list them very confidently, and your customer is going to perk up and say, hang on, I've tried that, I've thought that as well, I resonate with this person, okay? And it's going to, just like you need to grab attention and hold attention here, you need to hold attention. Every element is designed to hold attention. Then we go into the discovery. And the discovery is really the light bulb moment about why failed solutions don't work and what actually causes the problem. So you have your creator say, well, I wanted to understand why these things didn't work. So I did some research and I found out that these things don't actually target the root cause of my problem. And in fact, they just mask it and some even make it worse. Right, so that's just an example of how you could introduce that light bulb moment. And you also want to introduce how did the creator discover your solution. Must be believable and natural, because you can't just have someone say, and I came across this product, and it's like, that's not very believable. What you want to be doing is something more like, after doing tons and tons of research, looking through Reddit forums, etc., watching YouTube videos, I finally came across this dermatologist, this doctor, whatever, right, depending on the product you're selling, of course, that spoke about how to actually solve this problem. Then I went and did research online about which products that actually have this active ingredient. And I found this product online, it had some great reviews, so I decided to try it. That is an actual discovery path that a customer will take. You can also say, a friend of mine has amazing hair and he's in his 40s, and I asked him, what's your secret? And he told me, well, I just use this product, right? And we're going to see this in the examples that I'll share with you in just a moment, okay? So after the discovery, so after that light bulb moment, after the discovery of your solution, you introduce the product off the back of that, okay? So introduce that off the back of the discovery, very simple. Then you want to talk about the unique mechanism of the product. Now the unique mechanism is basically the thing that differentiates your product from all the other solutions out there. And it could be the specific ingredients, it could be the way the product is constructed, it could be the way that the product looks and it's designed, and it doesn't really matter, right? It's very different depending on the product you're selling, but you find your USP, your unique selling proposition or unique mechanism, and you want to explain how the product solves the problem, linking this to the discovery, and then backing it up with evidence, okay? Because what happens is when you introduce a unique mechanism, you are by default explaining how that product is different to the other ones that the customer has tried, whether it's the way it solves the problem, but ultimately you link it back to the discovery and you back it up with evidence in the form of social proof, before and afters, authority, scientific studies, or clinical trials. Because if you just say, this product contains these active ingredients and that's it, some people might believe you, but it's likely not going to have a lot of impact. So what you want to do is you want to say it contains these active ingredients. This one right here has been backed by science to do X, Y, and Z, and you show a little scientific study as B-roll on your video. This one is recommended by doctors nationwide to do X, Y, Z. You're backing it up, and that's really the most important part there, because you want to have believability and proof with the claims that you're making. The next part of this video is you want to have product benefits, right? So usually 2 to 3 is a sweet spot. Going over 3, I'd say not ideal, because customers aren't likely going to be able to remember more than 3. And ultimately you want to link it to the core desire as well. So you state the key benefits, link them to the core desire, i.e. the outcome that the customer actually wants. So the product helps your hair grow back faster. Okay, why is that important, right? Because, okay, you're going to have more confidence, you're going to feel like you're in your 20s again, you're going to be more attractive to the opposite sex, or things like that, right? Things that people actually value and people actually want. Authority and or social proof. This is the next part. So once you list the benefits, then you want to again back it up with some authority and social proof. Either a stamp of approval from a trusted source, or a quote unquote, look at how many other people are using this product. So it could be the amount of customers that you have. You might want to show some before and afters. You might want to show up some customer reviews. You might want to say, hey, we have 1,000 reviews of this product of people who were, in the same position that I was, and then, you know, I read all these reviews and I decided to try it, right? And, you know, now I'm a believer and now I'm one of these guys. Then you want to talk about the end result. This is the end result that the creator is experiencing, right? So what they achieved by using your product. And you want to link the end result to the core desire. So notice here how we're always linking back to the core desire. And the reason why this is important is because we're selling to the core desires and the outcomes that the human actually wants. That is the foundation of this, okay? So we want to link back to it as much as we can so that we reinforce every single point by saying, this is going to allow you to achieve your outcome. This is going to allow you to achieve what you want. This is going to allow you to, you know, get more status. It's going to allow you to land that job, right? It's basically linking it back to the core desires. And then you want to introduce your offer, right? We're going to the end of the video where we say, okay, this is the offer, right? So you state the offer and you tie in some urgency and scarcity. By urgency being the fact, you know, it's time-based, that, you know, this, you know, may not be around for long. And scarcity is unit-based, meaning, you know, we have a low amount of stock, it's selling out fast. You know, this product was recently featured on Forbes, so, you know, it's selling out quickly, right? Or a big influencer recently posted about this and it's selling out fast. And then if you can, you want to have some risk reversal, i.e., you know, guarantee. And then finally, a call to action, which is just telling the viewer how to actually get the product and the action they must do next, because this is direct response. And ultimately, we're getting customers to take an action from our ad. Now, I know there's a lot to take in, right? And what I want to do is I want to show you 2 examples of ads that are using this core structure. Now, there's sometimes like slight differences in the order, or slight different, like one has like maybe like an extra element. I just want you to look at the overarching thing, the overarching ad, and see how you tie it back to this core structure, okay? And I would, you know, rewatch this video, go through it again, and list this out, right? List out all these things that we just spoke about, and start applying it, start creating ads. That's really the action step from today. I create these videos so that I can give you actionable information, insights, things that you can actually take today and apply in your business. Not some, you know, just theory that we're just talking about, but more so, this is what you can do right now, okay? So let's watch these ads and we'll see how they're linked to what we just saw. So this ad right here was running for 216 days. So yeah, let's watch it.
Want to go from this to this? Probably not. That's why famous celebrities went from massive receding hairlines to hair thicker and fuller than ever in a matter of months. Musk did it. Bieber did it. David Beckham did it. Now I did it. How? I didn't get a hair transplant. I didn't take any meds with nasty side effects. And I didn't use something that only the rich and famous have access to. I used something as simple as a shampoo. Instead of listening to Big Pharma's lies or being tricked into getting a so-called safe hair transplant, I got to the root cause of my hair loss and stopped it at its core. The reason why 50% of men will lose most of their hair by the age of 40 is due to a hormone called DHT, which attacks your hair follicles, thins them out, and slows down their regrowth cycle. How do you stop DHT? With licorice extract. Licorice prevents testosterone from converting to its more potent form, DHT. And if you add black sesame and ginger root extract to the mix, you'll detoxify the scalp, nourish it, reawaken your hair follicles, and restart the hair growth cycle. Tons of companies sell these in the form of supplements, oils, or serums, but I use Spartan Root Activator Shampoo because it doesn't just have all the natural ingredients that are proven to restore hair. It's also developed by a world-renowned dermatologist, Daniel Sullivan. He has already helped thousands of men regrow their hair. And you just have to switch your old shampoo with this one. Use it 4 times a week for 3 to 4 months and you'll end up looking like me. If you don't want to risk trying this shampoo, then this is for you. They have a 90-day money-back guarantee and 60% off when you purchase 3 bottles. You have absolutely nothing to lose. Order now.
Okay, so ad is 1 minute 40, and some of you may think this is long, but actually for a problem-aware, solution-aware audience, this is right about that length, right? Sometimes you can go up to 2 minutes. It really depends on the amount of education that you need to do in the product that you're selling. So notice, hopefully you started to notice like the different elements of this ad. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly break this down for you and just go through the different stages of the ad and link this back to what we just saw in the Figma file just to really round everything off together. So let's start here.
Want to go from this to this? Probably not.
Okay, so that's the hook, right? And notice how it grabs attention because it's like, you know, it's the opposite, right, of what you would normally see like from this to this, but it's also related to the product. It's not someone jumping out of a window and, you know, setting themselves on fire. Like it's not something stupid just to grab attention. It's grabbing attention and opening a curiosity loop by saying like, this is different, let me continue watching.
That's why famous celebrities went from massive receding hairlines to hair thicker and fuller than ever in a matter of months. Musk did it. Bieber did it. David Beckham did it. Now I did it.
Okay, so this is like setting the scene as to the outcome. And notice how this is a little bit different than, going directly into the problem. We are still like referencing the problem in terms of the before and after and, where the customer is likely at right now. So we're future pacing a little bit. And ultimately it is showing the actual outcome that the customer experienced early on, right? So remember, as I said, we're not going to see this like exact rigid structure, but you're going to see all the elements that we've outlined here in this video. Sometimes they're just like switched around a different way, and it just goes to show that this is not hard and fast rules. I'm just giving you a framework that you can actually take and apply to your business today.
How? I didn't get a hair transplant.
Okay, failed solutions.
I didn't take any meds with nasty side effects. And I didn't use something that only the rich and famous have access to. I used something as simple as a shampoo.
Okay, so introducing not the product, but the solution.
Instead of listening to Big Pharma's lies or being tricked into getting a so-called safe hair transplant, I got to the root.
Okay, so this is more like the discovery, right? And notice now how he's going to talk about basically how it works, right? Like what the actual cause of hair loss is and how to actually regrow it.
Cause of my hair loss and stopped it at its core. The reason why 50% of men will lose most of their hair by the age of 40 is due to a hormone called DHT, which attacks your hair follicles, thins them out, and slows down their regrowth cycle. How do you stop DHT? With licorice extract. Licorice prevents testosterone from converting to its more potent form, DHT. And if you add black sesame and ginger root extract to the mix, you'll detoxify the scalp, nourish it, reawaken your hair follicles, and restart the hair growth cycle. Tons of companies.
Okay, so that's the discovery, and it's going into the science, right? And what this does is it sets the scene for you to introduce the
We
product.
sell these in the form of supplements, oils, or serums, but I use Spartan Root Activator Shampoo.
Okay, product introduction. So if we just go back to the Figma file here, we saw the failed solutions, we saw the discovery, now we're at the product intro. And let's see what happens next.
Because it doesn't just have all the natural ingredients that are proven to restore hair. It's also developed
Okay, so a little bit unique mechanism there, tying it back to the ingredients.
by a world-renowned dermatologist, Daniel Sullivan. He has
Authority, okay? So we haven't got to the benefits yet, but it's introduced the authority, right, with the dermatologist.
already helped thousands of men
But now we get to the social proof.
regrow their hair. And you just have to switch your old shampoo with this one. Use it 4 times a week for 3 to 4 months and you'll end up looking like me. If you don't want to risk trying this shampoo, then this is for you. They have a 90.
Okay, so the benefit in there could be the fact that it's just 3 to 4 weeks of time. They're not linking the benefits to the actual outcome, right, the desire, but now they're going into the risk reversal, which we saw here as part of the offer. Okay, so risk reversal right here.
90-day money-back guarantee and 60% off when you purchase 3 bottles. You have absolutely nothing to lose. Order now.
Okay, and then you have your call to action, order now. Okay, so I just want to go through this ad because I want to give you a different example. This is an ad that's been running for 200 days, and like hopefully this is helpful. Like hopefully showing you these ads gives you a view of what a winning ad actually looks like.
Some men keep their hair into their 50s while others start balding in their 20s. The secret is finally out.
Now with this one, I can also break it down just like step by step. This is obviously the hook.
Celebrities have access to the best dermatologists money can buy. These aren't people looking to make a quick buck. They're the top experts in the field, and they know the truth about hair loss. It turns out that 2 out of 3 cases of hair loss can actually be solved without transplants, medications.
So a little bit of the problem there, the agitation coming into the failed solutions. Also like inspiring a little bit of hope, like 2 out of 3, like an alternative for the problem. And obviously you bake in the problem, but alternative of just like saying, I suffered from this and it was affecting my life. You can also introduce and you can break a belief, right? You can say that the top dermatologists, they actually say that 2 out of 3 hair loss cases can be fixed, right? That is something that customers likely haven't heard before. And you're backing up with authority, so it's believable.
Or expensive treatments. The problem? Dormant hair follicles. Here's the deal. Most hair follicles don't die, they go dormant. A protein called TGF-beta-1 builds up in your scalp, cutting off blood flow and nutrients to the follicles. Over time, they shrink, weaken, and stop producing hair.
So this one is going into the discovery earlier.
But here's the catch. They're not gone forever. With the right treatment, you can wake them up and get your hair growing again. That's why celebrities are told to focus on solutions that target the root cause, like Spartan
Discovery and then product introduction.
Root Activator Shampoo. Spartan was developed by a dermatologist.
Authority.
Frustrated by quick money treatments that didn't address the real problem. His breakthrough formula blocks both TGF beta
Unique mechanism.
1 and DHT, covering 80% of the causes of hair loss. It restores blood flow and reactivates dormant follicles, all using natural ingredients like licorice root, black sesame, and ginger. The best part? It's easy. No
This is more the benefits, right? The ease, reducing the effort and sacrifice.
plants, no pills, no complicated routines. Just swap your regular shampoo for Spartan and use it 4 times a week. Thousands of men from
Social proof.
everyday guys to Hollywood elites are seeing thicker, stronger hair within months. Don't settle for false promises. Join the thousands of men who solved their hair loss with Spartan Root Activator Shampoo with a 90-day money-back guarantee.
Risk reversal and the offer.
And 60% off when you buy 3 bottles. There's no risk, just results. Click below to get started today.
And finally, the call to action. Okay, so again, you can see here how this ad is structured. Again, slight differences in terms of the structure of, you know, the rigidity of the elements themselves, but hopefully you see 2 winning ads and the similarities between them and what that looks like and how you can apply a framework like this to create winning ads. That's all for this video. If you want someone to come in and do all this for you, create the ads, even run your ads and optimize the funnel, it's exactly what myself and my team does. In the first link of this video description, you can find a link to my website. You can book a call directly with me. We'll talk about your business and see if we can actually help. All right, that's it for now.